Hey, so follow me and Chloe. We're on our way to the cutting room now. Let's go. We're in the garment district right now, as you can see by the fabric. Hey, so we're on West 39th Street between 7th and 8th. We're in the heart of the garment district. We're going to be going into my cutting room so we could see really, this is for mass production when they cut a lot of units of everything. That's what we're going to see inside. So come on, let's go. These are the markers here. When you cut the marker, you create bundles, and then you send this to the sewing factory. And in the sewing factory, you have to give the sewers a sew-by sample. And what is a sew-by sample? It's a sample of exactly the way the garment is sewn and finished. So when they get the bundle, they know exactly what they're doing. Because if you see this, if you just get a bundle of fabric, what do you do with that? They need to see this actual sample to see the way it's been sewn. So this is the cut ticket. This is the cut ticket for what's over here, you see? So this is, they're cutting like 120, 120, 240. These are all the different colors. And this is basically a towel that they're cutting. So these are all the plies, and they're gonna start to cut, you know, they'll cut with a big blade. They're gonna cut through. So this is the cut ticket for this. So these are all the swatches. They make these little ties with the excess. You see all these ties here? They make these ties with the excess. Oh, wait. All right. Anyway, and they use that to tie up they don't waste anything. So they use this to tie up the bundles, the excess fabrics. And what's funny is sometimes you'll see them, they wear these aprons. They'll create an apron out of excess fabric. So you'll see them wearing like some random printed apron or something. So these bundles, these are gonna, he's gonna be, look, he's getting the rest of the lint and stuff off. What he just did right now was, those were the notches. He just carved out the notches. And what the notches are, if you're a sewer, you know that it's really important to have notches. So your notches line up when you're sewing. Because if you don't have notches, you could sew two pieces together, and guess what? You end up in one piece is longer than the other. But the notches are what keep the sewing straight and on point. So they're like evenly sewn together. Those are notches. So that's what he was just cutting out, the notches just now. Just to show you, for instance, like this is a collar. See, it says collar. So this is the collar. You can tell it's shaped like a collar. Here, what we're doing here is we're doing what's called block fusing. Now, what block fusing is basically is that they fuse a piece of the garment. That's an adhesive that goes on to the garment. That's where you want a garment to be a little bit more stiff. Sometimes you'll see that in a collar. They'll block fuse the collar, so the collar has a little bit of stiffness to it. They'll block fuse this. So they take this piece of fabric, they fuse it, and then what they'll do is they will put the pattern piece, and then the pattern gets cut after. So under here, this is like an adhesive. And that's what gives it some body. It gives the fabric body. Otherwise, the fabric would be floppy. So that's what gives the fabric some body, some hold, is the block fusing. So so now it's coming through on the other side. Here it is. And this is heating it. This is like a heat set machine. So it's by heat is how it gets adhered. And this is a different color in the same fabric. So here's like a piece of a marker. So this is a marker. Sometimes the markers get cut up. They come very wide, the width of the fabric, or sometimes they cut them up, and they're stapling everything together, because what happens is the fabric can shift. You know, and especially when you have, the more plies you have, the more fabric can move around when you're creating so many plies. So especially down there, fabric can move around. So The fabric probably won't move in that case because it's like cotton toweling and it kind of sticks together. But if it's a smoother fabric like silk, for instance, that has a propensity to kind of glide and move around. But here he is. He's cutting out this piece. It says this is the front bodice. So this is the shape, the pattern shape of the front bodice. So that's what he's cutting out right now. So they do it with these machines. It's not done by hand. It's done, I mean, it's kind of done by hand, but it's done with these machines that cut all the plies instead of like a scissor. So here are some bundles. Like these are bundled cut works that'll be going to factories. So this is how they go to, they get cut, they go into a bag and they go to the factory like that. So all these bundles are going out. This is like a U-boat or something. And they basically carry fabric, bolts of fabric. They carry cut work. You can see the cut work here. They carry cut work. And, you know, you'll see these kind of going through the street. So, yeah, so you'll see them. They're like, that's what you see in the garment district. But, yeah, but this is really interesting because this basically, it's metal. And then this is all, they created this macrame so nothing would fall out the sides. So this was all done looks like over a lot of years. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so that's that. So here's some fabric coming in, some printed fabric coming, 100% cotton. These are all markers from different companies. These are all markers. These are waiting to be cut. So this has the swatches of fabric, right? This is the cut ticket with the swatches of fabric. You have self, you have lining, and then this is the marker. So they'll pull the fabric, they'll spread it like that fabric spread over there, and then what they'll do is they'll take this marker and they'll unroll it. This paper marker will get unrolled onto there, and that's how they know how to cut. And it looks like this. So, you know, this not this marker, but this is kind of what it will look like. So here are your pattern pieces. This is your seam allowance. You see where that stitch mark is to the edge? From the stitch mark to the edge, this is what's called seam allowance. So those are all your seam allowances. So the stitch line is here, and that is it's sandwiched in. So that's your seam allowance on the pattern. And all the pattern pieces get marked. This is size small, small, small. This is all size small. And this looks like it's some type of bodice. Yeah, because here's a dart. It looks like a bodice because here's the dart. So this will go like, this will close up. This is your dart, you see? And then that starts to look like a tank top. You can see the way that starts to look like a tank top. You see that? So this is like a bodice piece. And then there's probably a strap that attaches. So that this is the dart though. Here's your cutting ticket, once again. Different colors. So that's your self, your lining, 2 colors. Those are your size breakdowns, different size breakdowns. Extra small through extra large. Face up, one direction. What does that mean? Face up, one direction means when a print, sometimes when a print is created, it gets created, it's like a one-way print. So it's like it has such a motif that if you cut it not one way and you had some up, some down, it would look upside down. So sometimes prints are what we call a one-way print. So that means it can only be cut. Like imagine if you had chess pieces, right? And that's how you wanted your print to be with chess pieces. So you would cut it out one way. If it wasn't one way, they would flip it because that's how things can fit better when you flip it. Or not, but they might just, because if they don't know, if there's no way specified, they will do it, you know, any way they want. But if they know it's a one-way print, so you want all those chess pieces to look like soldiers in your garment, you know that you want a one-way print, you have to specify that to the marker engrader that you want a one-way print. So that way they make sure that all the pattern pieces are fitting one way, not like this. They're all like soldiers. So this is the New York City Garment District. This is a cutting room. You guys, what I'm showing you, you won't see anywhere else. So, and a lot of things a lot of tips that I've shown you, and you know, ways that markers are and patterns are and block fusing and plies and cutting tickets and self and lining and all that fun stuff. Here they're spreading some fabric there. They're spreading, oh, I think they're making more of that towel. They're making a lot of that towel over there, I gotta tell you. Oh, here they're bundling some stuff going to the sewing factory. So here they are, they bundle it and it goes in the bags. So here was that cut work we just saw. He was vacuuming the cut work and now he's bundling it to go, this is different sizes. Now he cut out those pieces. We just saw the pieces before, and now these are the pieces cut. This is it. These are the cut pieces. This was the piece, and now he cuts it out. So here we go. And she's still block fusing. Lots goes on at the cutting room. She cracks me up. Chloe loves, you know there's like that, what's that song? Love the one you're with. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. That's Chloe. She loves the one she's with. Here's the garment. So what they will do, here's the case, here's the marker. These are the fabrics they're cutting. So they're cutting more than one fabric. They're cutting more than one fabric, right? So that's self, lining, self, lining, self, lining. Here's your cut ticket, is wrapped up. I'm not gonna unwrap it, but here's your cut ticket, right? And then here is the garment. So this is the garment that they're gonna be cutting. So this will, it's good that they have it here when they cut it, and then they take this garment and this will go to the factory with the cut work. This is the sew by sample I was referring to. This is your sew by sample. Once they cut it, it'll be bundled, it'll be bagged, like here, this man's coming with the bags. It'll be bundled like that. This is like the whole thing right here. So, awesome. I'm glad that we came today because, you know, as is business, sometimes, you know, cutting rooms have more work, have less work. So I'm excited that today that we came, there was a lot going on. We had people cutting towels, I'm gonna be cutting this dress. I was able to show you the block fusing. I was able to show you the markers. So I'm glad that we came today. It was a good day to come. So I'm excited. So I was able to share with you. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of manufacturing garment, you know, and you just think about all the time and effort that you put into designing something and then actually to produce it. It's a beautiful, I don't know. I mean, you know, fashion's in my DNA. What could I tell you? But it's just, when I see this stuff, I'm like, it really like excites me. You know what I mean? It really excites me to see like, this is the way it's done. And there are certain things that, you know, this is like pretty much, maybe now this is like the old way. You know, I'm sure there are factories. I heard about a factory in China, in fact, where it was all automated. It was an a wholly automated process where a pattern would come down, like by automation, would drop down, and then would be cut, and all in an automated process. Which, I mean, the person promised to send me the video, but they never did. But that I want to see. But this, I just love this. Like this is it. You feeling what goes into a garment. Imagine when the next time you order something and it comes to your door, or you go into a shop, and to think that, you know, what went into making that garment. So I hope that I was able to give you a little bit of that view today. Hello, Miss Chloe. Hi. You had a good time?
Yeah.
You had a good time? Aw.
Yeah.
Aw. You had fun with her?
I should have.
She's a little angel.
I will feed a little mouse over here for you. In cheese every whole day. You don't get it? Your mother.
She's very excited.
It's your mother. You don't get it.
I definitely wanted to visit with Chloe because I know.
Yeah, you still have been doing this garment for a long time.
Yes, long time. Yeah, 23 years.
Oh, I must
Scary.
be better than you.
Yeah, it was really great to see you too. But no, I'm excited because I want to teach everybody about production and cutting and learning the industry. I'm doing a YouTube channel and teaching people about the industry.
Yeah, you?
Yeah. Me?
Cool.
Yeah. So All right. Well, I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Toby. Yeah,
So if you got value, as usual, subscribe, like, and share the content. And jump into the Facebook group, The Fashion Masterclass. I hope you had as much fun as I did going to the cutting room. So bye for now. See you next week.